Welcome to the AJ Palumbo Center, the WPIAL Quad A Championship game. Mckeesport NA, Steve Menifee, Brian Bulsack, and the Mckeesport Tigers control the tap.
Let's get right to it.
Yeah, this is their point guard, Ryan Sturgess. He's a big scorer and a good player for this team, the senior. The first shot of the game taken by number 25, B.Boord, and it is a three-pointer. The Tigers up 3-0 quickly.
Pace, 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 Sean. That's the whole key to this game. You can see Mckeesport's going to pressure because they want to speed up the tempo of this game. Good steal by Short.
Brandon Short, 43 with the steal for Mckeesport. Sturgess back quickly, and it's 5-0. This team likes to go, Dan.
Yeah, they average about 80 points a game. NA only giving up about 46, so a real contrast in style. Something's got to give, and right now, Mckeesport style is winning.
Number 30, Matt Taylor, the Tigers point guard from North Allegheny, had played less than a quarter in the semifinals, bothered by the flu. He starts this one, is ready to go. This is Steve Harris, number 52. Swings it to 34, Matt McMurdo for the first North Allegheny shot, and it's a three. 5-3, he's pouring up. Number 21, Glenn Allen, into the forecourt. The other Tigers, or other Mckeesport stars, I gotta watch that. Steve Menifee is 45, Allen 21. There's Brandon Short, 43. And the big football player headed to Penn State can also play on the hardwood. B.Boord outside. Board got away with a hop there in three-point land. Takes the pass back from Short, saves it in, and Harris corrals it though for NA. Here comes Matt Taylor. Maybe got away with a charge there. Battles for the loose ball, gets the ball sack. Number 32 is Dustin West. Number 50 is Bulsack, 52 Harris, and number 34 Matt McMurdo. He has the first 3 points for North Allegheny.
Look for North Allegheny to be patient on offense, only wide open shots and layups.
North Allegheny coached by Mark Jula, who was no stranger to WPIAL final action.
Good dig.
Bulsack to the rack. We're tied at 5.
Credit Steve Harris with good hustle, getting the rebound and a nice assist.
Tigers in a full court, man-to-man. McMurdo against Glenn Allen.
Mckeesport, well-coached team, Sean. You see a lot of movement against the man-to-man defense. But a good reach in by number 30, Matt Taylor.
Dan Pacella, the head coach at Mckeesport. Just passing the 300 win plateau a couple games ago. Back in the semifinals. Just one game ago. Looking for 301 and his first WPIAL title at Mckeesport. His second three, and North Allegheny's up to an 8-5 lead. We didn't get a chance to talk about it much, but Dan, this is going to be a game of tempo. And with NA ahead here, they get a chance to maybe dictate that tempo.
That's the key.
They
have to stay closer ahead, and then they can control tempo a little bit. They're doing a real nice job on offense, setting screens. A little reach in there on Harris.
It's a foul on Steve Harris with 4:34 to play in the first quarter here. It's North Allegheny leading Mckeesport 8-5. We'll be back with more first quarter action right after this.
There are 3 family sedans you may...
Championship basketball on Prime Sports KBL is being brought to you by Chevrolet, your local Chevy Geo dealers, by Sears Brand Central, the brands you want at the store you trust, and by Cameron Coca-Cola and Coca-Cola Classic, always playing to win, always Coca-Cola. Brandon Short with the Mckeesport basket. It's an 8-7 ball game. Tigers full court pressing, man-to-man. Sturgess gets away as the turnover is forced, and Mckeesport gets ahead.
Nice reach in by Sturgess to tip the ball ahead.
Almost got that one there, too. He's going to get called for the blocking foul there, though, as Matt Taylor tried to go around him. First foul of the game on Mckeesport.
Sturgess injured his knee.
He is a little banged up. Coach Pacella heading out onto the court. There They're going to check him out. Let's see. Going to make an immediate replacement here. Number 23, Jermaine Cromarty, the star running back from the football team, will check in. Of course, Mckeesport trying for that the double. The first time it's happened in a long time in Quad A action after winning the WPIAL Football Championship back in November, as well as the state with an undefeated season. Cromarty, one of the big stars. There he is, number 23, guarding West. McMurdo to the forecourt.
Mckeesport's getting buried on some screens early, Sean. That's why these shots are so wide open. They're getting caught up. Called jump.
Jump ball, a held ball called, and the arrow will stay with North Allegheny, trailing by a point here.
North Allegheny doing a good job screening down, and that's why they're getting that open shot on the elbows of the key.
Going to look there at head coach Mark Jula, who, as I said, has been here in the finals before. In fact, first one we ever televised, he won the title.
And stepped out.
With Butler.
Matt McMurdo stepped out of bounds. Mckeesport ball.
Glenn Allen gets it in for the Tigers and Mckeesport Tigers. I'm going to have to get out of that habit in a hurry here. As Allen pulls up, in and out. Harris the rebound for NA. Menifee steals the save though, and Short in control. Board looking at the three. The left-hander gives it to Allen. Double pump, but there's the bear on the boards, huh? Tip off the foot of Matt McMurdo. Mckeesport basketball.
Brendan Short's going to cause NA trouble all night just because of his physical strength. They don't have anyone who can match up with him physically.
Some substitutions, Nick Pachowski, number 33, and Ed Odersich, number 35, into the Mckeesport lineup, and they got it into Short. Little physical play there. Ballsack and Short.
Ballsack was arguing that Short cleared away with his arm, but as is usual the case, cut the second in retaliation, and that's what they call. But again, he's going to cause them problems on the block just because he's a wide body.
Cromarty to inbound. NA still in their man there?
Yeah, they are.
Makes it tough down there, and they try to get it into Short, but Harris steals it away. And NA into the forecourt, but they don't really want to run. Yeah, look.
And good look.
Harris down low. Nice move.
Harris is doing a nice job. He's going to have his work cut out for him tonight, but he's played aggressive, is kind of typical of this North Allegheny team.
And they leads at 11-9. But Nick Pachowski has an answer for that. 12-11 Mckeesport. Mckeesport doing a good job pressing the tempo.
Good pass. Yeah, they are. And a real nice look.
Dustin West, number 32 with the pass. And Steve Harris with the basket, his second in a row. He'll go to the line for a possible three-point play.
There's the dish right there to Harris. Did a good ball fake. And he got the spin. Foul on Short.
John McCarthy checks in for North Allegheny, replacing Brian Ballsack. And suddenly they're real small, Dan. They were small before. Ballsack at 6'4", one of their taller players. McCarthy checks in at 6'1".
You have to give him a rest, though. You know, there's a long way to go, and you don't want to tire them out early. It's been a long struggle for them through these playoffs. They beat Upper St. Clair, Woodland Hills, and Butler in overtime. So you got to try and keep some guys fresh early in the game.
The last two games possibly perceived as upsets. A reach-in foul there on the Tigers defense.
Yeah, I would agree with you, Sean. You know, beat Butler in overtime, and Woodland Hills was seeded number 1.
Foul against Mike Mancuso, his first. So with 2:11 to play, it's Mckeesport 12 and NA 13.
On an average week.
During that timeout, our man Art Humphreys, the birthday boy, basically corrected Deuce Kersinski, the official score. We're tied at 12 here, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm not sure how official Deuce is.
The legendary high school basketball follower in Western Pennsylvania. Infamous, another good word from our producer, Joe Magny. Looped it high and long into short. Boy, he's more than just a big body. You need to.
Yeah, we saw him play football at the linebacker position. He can move. I mean, he's an athlete. He's just not a big body.
Maybe harken back to a couple years ago. We were at Palumbo Center. We saw Lorenzo Stiles in the Quad A Championship playing hoops for Farrell, tearing it up.
A lot of pressure out front. They should be able to try and get a back door or a back pick here. Mckeesport really starting to challenge every pass now.
Harris with
there's the back pick.
McCarthy with his first basket, and it's a 14-12 North Allegheny lead.
That's one of the things, if you play a tight man-to-man, you really leave yourself open to getting screened off, and Mckeesport's struggling with that a little bit in the first quarter.
B.Boord, the shooter. Ryan Sturgess is back in the game, by the way. His knee's apparently okay. Short follows his own and draws a foul. It's going to be called against Steve Harris. His first, I believe. Number 4 against North Allegheny in a hurry here, Dan.
I was waiting to see if that was his first. I'm not sure if he got one earlier or not.
Me either. Got Art looking the other way, so we'll have to wait for the score. It's a battle under the boards there. McCarthy getting tied up with Mckeesport's Ed Odersich. Foul caught, it's 2.
Harris thought he had one earlier. That's someone they can't afford to lose. He's been bad.
It was wrong before.
He's going to sit out probably the rest of this quarter.
Bolsack back in there, number 50 for NA. Foul shooting, apparently not one of Brandon's strong suits.
That one didn't look real good.
I don't think that'll discourage Joe Paterno, though. Bolsack, the rebound. NA back on offense, leading at 14-12. And a chance for Coach Jewell's Tigers to control the tempo a little bit.
That was a real nice move there.
Yeah, McMurdo drew that.
Right, exactly. When you beat your man and you know he's coming up from behind, just kind of pull back a little bit and he's going to fall on top of you, and that's what happened.
Foul against Mckeesport's Nick Bachowski, his first. 3 against Mckeesport. 56 seconds to play here, first quarter. Little trouble getting it in, but Mike Mancuso handles it. Matt McMurdo, the point guard. There's a blocking foul called, aggressive defense by Jermaine Cromarty.
Looks like Jermaine had good position. He might have stuck his knee out a little bit. That's a tough call, but he was playing good defense.
And with all these whistles and, of course, the timeouts, the official timeouts, that really helps NA in this game when NA or Mckeesport like to take off.
And yeah, there's no doubt about it. But to credit North Allegheny, so far, you know, they haven't put it in the freezer. They're just playing very smart. They've taken the open shots when they're there. They're running their offense. You know, they haven't held the ball that long on offense. I've been kind of surprised. I thought they were going to run through their offense a lot more. But they've taken the shots when they're there, so they're not putting it in the freezer.
A 20-6 record coming into this. They're no slouch. There's no mistaking that. We didn't want to give you that impression. Mckeesport at 24-1.
There's the back screen, and that's been open all night so far.
McCarthy got triple teamed in a hurry. Couldn't get it up. McMurdo maybe dribbling the ball a little more than they'd like to have it. There's a held ball called.
This one will go to Mckeesport. Great hustle on both teams.
They're pointing North Allegheny's way, as Coach Pacella said, you see there, wanted to travel. No, you're right. I'm backwards here. They're pointing Mckeesport's way. I read their official backwards.
15 seconds left in the quarter.
B.Boord, the first shot of the game. Chris Cromarty going hard to the hoop and drawing a foul on Mike Mancuso from NA. That'll be 5 on that team. 10 on the clock in the quarter.
That is his first personal foul. The team has 5.
His first, Mancuso's. Cromartie at the line to shoot 2. Kansas, is it, football?
I believe so, yeah. I think you're right.
Projected as a cornerback or possibly a running back with lightning quick speed.
That's 4 they've missed. Short missed 2, and they missed 2 more off of Cromartie. 3, 2. Nice job of getting the ball up the floor.
They beat the buzzer. And North Allegheny with a 4-point lead after 1 quarter of play. A possible upset in the making here at the AJ Palumbo Center. Mckeesport down 4.
Good job getting the ball up the floor. Mancuso, nice body control, gets the layup at the buzzer.
Good pass from Dustin West, set it up. North Allegheny with a 4-point lead and the basketball here as we start the second quarter. McCarthy working against Brandon Short. McMurdo at the top, smothered by Cromartie. Allen against West.
Just excellent. There's a great shot. Just look at the movement on offense. Everybody's moving. No one's standing still.
Kind of what you were talking about, expecting maybe to see a little more of?
Yeah, they just do a real nice job of running their offense. If you're not getting the ball, you're going and screening.
Mancuso against Sturgess. You have all the
there it is. It's the down screen.
Dustin West, the 3-pointer.
That's his first.
NA's up 19-12. Tigers frustrated by the slow play and a couple missed shots. Ryan Sturgess. As Menifee gets ready to check in along with Art Anderson.
And it really hasn't been as slow as just deliberate. You know, they haven't slowed it down. They're on a 60, 70-point pace game. Coach Julius said he thought the game had to be under 60 for them to win. They're just being deliberate. And there's a big difference between being slow and being deliberate.
Charging foul call to Jermaine Cromartie as Brandon Short sits down along with Ed Odersich. And suddenly the Tigers, the Mckeesport Tigers, a little bigger. Art Anderson, 6'2", but he's a heavy 6'2". He's in there with Menifee, the big 6'6" junior center. Menifee, number 45. NA up by 7, controlling the ball and the clock. 6:45 to play first half.
Believe me, when you're playing man-to-man defense, you get real tired of running into picks all night, and that's what they're doing right now. It's a back door that wasn't open. Nice job by Sturgess to stay with his man.
Anderson tried to double team a little bit. Discouraged the pass off. Murdo comes out to help. NA's way out near midcourt. McCarthy, a little trouble. McMurdo helps
back out. Started over again.
.49 overtime winners over Butler in the semifinals. Mckeesport is used to, not used to being in this kind of game. NA, of course, very used to it. Allen for 3.
Left alone.
Game like this, those shots become all the more important, don't they?
You're exactly right, especially when you're down.
Somebody trips up the floor.
Nice block.
Was Menifee that got that?
Yes, it was.
Ryan Balsack with the shot attempt.
Turnover, unforced.
Brandon Short's going to rush back into the Mckeesport lineup. Art Anderson will take a seat, giving Brandon a good minute and a half rest, Dan. .5:15 to play. First half. McCarthy take an extra one there.
It looked like it.
Just want to make sure I'm not seeing double.
They're going to call that, I think, on the screen. No, they're going to call a hold on Sturgess. I thought they were going to call it on the screen.
Coming around it. screen set by John McCarthy. So with 4:55 to play, North Allegheny in control. 5 fouls against Mckeesport. They're down 7. 4:55 till the half.
There are 3 compact picks.
See it, Sean. And they've, in their last meeting in the first round of the playoffs last year, beat Mckeesport. I think most people expected Mckeesport to be in this game, but not North Allegheny.
Dan Pacella at least a little familiar with. There's a smart play, but number 32, Dustin West, had his foot on the line when the ball bounced back to him as he tried to bounce it off the back, or did bounce it off the back of B.Boord.
He did. Boord turned his back on him, so he threw it off him, but he didn't get both feet in bounds.
Each team even with 6 turnovers in the first half. Allen dribbles right up the court. No trouble at all. Also an active member of the football championship team. Boord pulls up the left-hander. He's 1 for 2 here tonight, just his second shot. Short powers his way in and draws a foul. That'll help.
It's about the only success they've had on offense is getting it to Brandon down on the block. There's Coach Pacella. You know he's a little bit concerned. The tempo just isn't right for them.
Mckeesport still looking for their first point. Yeah,
and that was a good call. It was still out of bounds.
Right foot.
He has to get that foot down in bounds, and he wasn't able to. He only got 1 down. Mckeesport needs to start speeding things up, even after a made shot by North Allegheny. Get the ball in bounds, get up the floor, start getting their fast breaking gear a little bit. They haven't been able to run at all. If they're averaging 80-some points a game, they're a team that likes to run, and they really haven't yet tonight. There's one.
First point of the quarter.
Yeah, with 4:35 left.
Boord has 3 points. Magic, you see that one?
Yeah.
About 4. And Jermaine Cromarty back in at guard, having replaced Ryan Sturgess, although Sturgess already heading back to the scorer's table. Short rest for him.
Stuck that one in there.
Bolsack with the power move.
Their leading scorer at 13 points per game.
Real balance this team has. 13, 10, 8.5, 11. Dustin West has 13 too. 13 a game. Sturgess back in. Didn't get to play long there, Dick.
No. Sturgess, the leading scorer at 16 points per game. He hasn't gotten into it yet. It's going to be a timeout here.
Okay. Coach Dan Pacella uses up his first timeout. We're going to a break with Mckeesport trailing here 21-14. He is 4-11 to try to get those 7 points back before the half. Glenn Allen at the foul line to shoot 2 here with 4:11 to play first half. Mckeesport trailing North Allegheny 21-14. Packed house here at the AJ Palumbo Center. Sean Daugherty, Dan Donahoe, and the birthday boy Art Humphreys here courtside, along with Harry Smeltzer. John Duffy and George Savarese coming up at the half and post game.
That's 6 missed free throws.
It's been a real tough way for Mckeesport. If they were going to be able to hang in this, and of course it's a long way from over, but those are the kind of things they can't do.
Well, when you're struggling on offense, and you're going to the line, you gotta convert.
Yep. 2 for 8 to the Mckeesport Tigers at the foul line. Both of those from Brandon Short.
Nice steal.
Allen with the steal. This could help change the tempo a bit if it goes in. It does.
And Mckeesport been real close this whole game of bothering the guards for North Allegheny. They've had a lot of near misses. They just have to keep the pressure on. I think they can get something out of it. They have to be careful, though, because the next one's a 1-on-1, so they don't want to commit needless fouls right now and put NA on the line.
McCarthy way outside. Maybe the only mismatch as far as quickness in this set. Three-pointer by West bounces way back out. Good bounce for NA, and that's the way everything
again, he had a wide open shot, though, off the down screen. Little 3-man weave out of the high post.
A little close to that half-court line there.
They're going to take their time now. They're just going, this is a little semi-delay here.
2:50 to play, first half. Up 5.
kill some time, and then they get into their offense.
West again, the three-point air ball. And that will help Mckeesport there, Dan.
Well, he hesitated. He had the shot to begin with, but he hesitated, and that gave the Mckeesport defender time to get a hand in his face, and I think that threw him off.
Was that ball tipped? I thought I might have heard
I
something.
thought so, too, to be honest
It's
with
tough, though, with these headphones on to tell whether or not.
Well, he wasn't arguing it, so I can assume it wasn't.
And the officials, no question in their mind. Sturgess at the helm here from Mckeesport, yet to scratch here in the second quarter for him. Down 5, an opportunity to cut it a little closer. Number 1 ranked team in Quad A, a 24-1 record. Short draws another one inside.
They're the track.
Matt Taylor got called for that one. Was that a technical? Or a second foul? What did they?
I'm not sure what
He
they're
pointed
calling.
right at Brandon Short. We'll see.
All right, first thing, we have a personal foul on 30 of Danny's holding. 1-on-1. Right?
Short will shoot 1-on-1.
I think they are going to call a foul on Short, too.
Let's see what he does here. A little bit of in-your-face stuff, but not much.
It's pretty mild.
Yeah.
It's pretty mild.
Is it a warning or a technical? I missed the announcement. We'll have to wait and see. Must be a technical because they're going to shoot the 1-on-1 and they're off the foul lines. Yeah. Also a technical on number 30. So both ways.
Wow.
Well, even it up. And they both count as personal fouls against each player. That's 2 on Short and 1 on Matt Taylor.
I don't have a problem with the refs taking control of the game, and I'm not a fan of wolfing or anything, but that's pretty mild. You know, you have to realize these kids are pumped up. This is a championship game. That was really kind of mild. I think they could have just brought them together, given them a warning, and let them go on.
They're only shooting. There it is. I'm sorry, I was wrong. Art, correct me again. Matt Taylor now has 2 fouls. They put that up on the board. Doesn't count as team fouls, though, so Mckeesport still with 6. And NA with 7, so Short will shoot 1-on-1, and then they'll shoot the technicals.
Coach Julia doesn't understand, I think, why Matt Taylor got a technical also. It didn't look like he did much.
I didn't see much on the replay. Yeah.
Also.
Either that or maybe they just want to do that to keep things in control here. Okay.
See, if we would have just given him a warning, we could have shot the 1-on-1 and got the game moving.
McCarthy's going to shoot the 2 technicals for North Allegheny. Only averages.
He must be a heck of a free throw shooter.
Yeah.
He only averages a bucket a game, but that's who he put on the line. He got 1 out of 2. Kind of unusual to see a guy only averaging 2 points per game shooting your free throw.
McMurdo in there, he shoots 79%. McMurdo's not in there, that's why. Bring him off the bench, let him shoot him. That's the difference. Of course, West shoots 74. I guess he shoots a little better than that.
They've been struggling.
That was the 1-on-1.
Sturgess run into the 1-on-1. Pulling out.
Apparently the light's a little bright here in the Palumbo Center. Do you see that?
Hey, wear them if you got them.
Look at the bright lights of television. Live television. Sturgess drills them both, and that helps Mckeesport. They come out of this thing looking pretty good. They're within 4.
Will be Mckeesport's ball.
Do they do it by the arrow, or
I believe they do it by the arrow.
Okay, so then the next arrow would head toward North Allegheny with 2:15 to play. 22-18. North Allegheny leads it. Short tries to go cross court to Sturgess. Had him open, but the pass just a little too high and hard.
Yeah, tough pass to make. I mean, if you have the ball 3 feet from the basket, there's no sense throwing a pass out to someone who's 18 feet away. Brendan should have just taken that himself.
Full court pressure. Matt Taylor, trouble dribbling the basketball again as Boord ties him up. And yes, it'll be North Allegheny ball in the arrow.
We guessed right.
How about that? Every now and then. Blind squirrel finds that nut, right?
Mostly then than now.
McMurdo replaces Matt Taylor in the NA lineup. Coach Jula.
Seems like the pressure is starting to take a little bit of a toll. Mckeesport's starting to get their hands on more balls. Couple steals. Nice drive. Good help.
Balsack didn't make it as Menifee and Short converged on him. Got up high above him to distract his shot. Glenn Allen in three-point range. Shot one from out there before. There's Boord. The left-hander in and out. Dan's favorite rims.
Boy, that's tight.
Steve Menifee with the hoop. 2-point game. Minute and a half. First half. There's a steal almost. There's a steal. Oops. Somebody got it. Allen has it. 1-on-4. Boord alone.
Nice position. And one. Nice job by Brandon Short, a football player, to use his body, get the defender on his back, and spun back the other way. Went up strong. And a real nice pass from the top.
Let's get a look at the
spin away from the defender, went up strong. Chance for a three-point play.
And he is strong around the glass. That's 2 fouls on Brian Balsack. Short's had his troubles, though, at the foul line here this evening. There it is. 7 for Short. It's a 1-point game.
Well, the pressure is starting to take its toll.
Well, I almost slept on the score there. Mckeesport's ahead, in case you weren't. I do know that. Menifee.
They're going to call the foul there, and it's going to be a one-on-one.
Dustin West gets the foul. And Mckeesport's getting some more chances here.
Yeah, they're starting to smell blood a little bit. They're starting to get into their kind of tempo. The pressure in the front court is starting to pay off. That time, actually, NA did a good job. They finally quit playing around with the ball and passed it up ahead, but McCarthy was in over his head.
Yep, and I'd say over his head, both Short and Menifee.
They were.
Short was higher, even higher than the 6'7" Menifee. Menifee at the line here. Shoot 1-and-1. Short with the almost rebound. Nice play by West to pull it out of there.
I think if you're NA, you're going to try and take the last shot. 50 seconds left on the clock. They shouldn't be in any hurry now. Both teams in the one-on-one for the rest of the half.
NA down by a point.
Mckeesport doing a lot of reaching. If they're just patient, I think they can draw a foul here. Well, they got away with a reach. Nice play.
Bob Boord.
Tough shot. Follow.
Nice to have that kind of height following you down the floor.
Sure is.
Mckeesport by 3.
12 seconds left on the clock.
Trouble on a timeout.
Good timeout.
Called by Matt McMurdo. 10 seconds to play here in the first half.
Coach Julia talking to the refs a little bit. I think he's a little bit upset about the hand checking that's going on.
Physical game certainly goes into the favor of Mckeesport.
Probably the best thing for NA is for halftime to come because the momentum is changing.
There it is. We talked about it earlier. 1956. Uniontown, the last big school team to do it. Of course, Duquesne did it last year in Class A.
Exactly.
Farrell and Denora were the other big school teams to do it. You see Boord there with the fast break hoop after the steal. And look at Menifee just going up. He's just too tall for the NA rebounders.
Exactly, and he did a good job just tipping the ball. He wasn't in a real good position to grab the rebound, just kind of tipped it to himself till he got his feet set, then went up and got the hoop.
Very athletic, and he's a junior. maybe not as strong as Chris Kirkland or as versatile. He doesn't go outside and shoot the threes. At least we haven't seen him do that yet. But another very talented junior in Western Pennsylvania.
We're going to run out of time.
Murdo got it off, but it was short. And so we'll go to the half here at the AJ Palumbo Center on the campus of Duquesne University, where the Mckeesport Tigers lead North Allegheny Tigers 25-22 in the WPIAL Quad A Championship. He faced one of them, and it was the Tigers of North Allegheny in the early rounds. Take it away, Duff, and let's hear what Coach had to say about the first half.
All right, Sean, thank you very much. We're here in the end zone with Matt Furjanic, head coach of Woodland Hills. And Matt, 3-point lead for Mckeesport. Any surprises you saw in this first half?
Not really any surprises. I think both teams were playing very hard. I think both teams came out attacking what they wanted to do. And I think probably Mckeesport would like to have a little more of a lead right now, but I think North Allegheny's got to be pretty happy, being only 3 down.
Well, the same thing that happened with you guys against North Allegheny. You guys shot 8 for 21 from the free throw line. Seems to be happening a little bit to Mckeesport, only hitting 5 of 13 in the first half.
You promised me you wouldn't bring back any bad memories. No, you're right. We had some little trouble in the first half shooting the free throws, and so did Mckeesport tonight. And I know that's one of the things that Dan Pacella is going to tell his team, make sure they concentrate a little more at the free throw line in the second half, because against a team like North Allegheny that's going to play a deliberate basketball game, it makes every possession that much more important. So if they're going to put you on a free throw line, you have to be able to take advantage of those opportunities.
How difficult is it to get a team back to solid free throw shooting when they've had the obvious problems that Mckeesport has had in this first half?
A lot of times it's just mental and confidence. I think if the kids just concentrate, maybe take their time a little more, they'll do a little better job.
Okay, let's put you in as coach of both of these teams. If you're going up against North Allegheny down by 3 points at half, got to be pretty happy about that. Or I'm sorry, down to Mckeesport 3 points at half, got to be pretty happy about that. What do you do to try and make that up?
Well, I think if I was Marjula right now, I'm telling his team we have them in position where we want them. It's only a 25-22, halftime score. It's not 35-32, so we're not caught up in a running game with them. So we're playing the game that we wanted to against, a talented Mckeesport team.
Okay, if you're Mckeesport, you got all those guys out there. You got probably a more athletic team. Does that make it easier to hold a lead?
Well, I think if I'm Dan Pacella, I'm telling his team right now, listen, we could have been a lot worse. We shot poorly from the free throw line. We went through a stretch of about 6 minutes where we didn't score, but now in the last 4 minutes, we made up for it and we got a 3-point lead. So I think if I was Dan, I'm going to tell his team, keep playing the way we did the last 4 minutes of the second quarter, and if we start off the third quarter like that, we're going to try to dictate the tempo of the game.
Okay, looking ahead to the PIAAs, what happens here will decide who you guys play.
Well, that's right. So I have mixed emotions on this game. If North Allegheny wins, we play the City League Championship, which was Brashear, and they beat Oliver today. And Brashear's, a very good basketball team. Shelly Goldstein, the coach, does a very good job, and I know they're going to be very well prepared. If North Allegheny loses, we play the winner of the State College Altoona game. I was at that game this afternoon. I left beginning of the fourth quarter. State College had a small lead, but they're both very talented basketball teams also. So the road to the state's going to be a tough one, but I'm very excited about it to be in that position, and I know our team will be ready come Saturday.
How do you think you guys will do, not you guys, but Quad A in general in the state's PIAA?
I think we're going to do very well, the WPIAL. This is a very balanced tournament, a very balanced District 7 overall. You could take anyone from 1 to number 8 and you see a good basketball team. Right now, the winning team from Erie could realistically play Newcastle in the first round. And if I'm a team from Erie, I don't want to play Newcastle. I'm looking for someone else to play. So I think the District 7 is going to fare very well. I think we're underrated as far as, what people think of us this year, because I think there's a lot of balance. There's not 1 or 2 teams that stand out above the rest.
Yeah.
Well, I think the first 4 minutes are going to be very crucial. I think if Mckeesport can come out and dictate the game like they did in the last 3 minutes, use their physical strength, take North Allegheny inside, then Mckeesport might be able to build up a 7 or 8 point lead, and that's exactly what North Allegheny doesn't want. I think what North Allegheny's hoping is they can once again, use their offense, use the back picks, go back door, and keep creeping back, point by point. And if I'm North Allegheny right now, I think you're going to see them attack the game the same way. Nothing's going to change in a 3-point basketball game. Both coaches feel very comfortable right now, and I think you're going to see a good second half.
Okay, Coach, thanks a lot for your time, and good luck to you in the state playoffs. Coach Matt Furjanik of Woodland Hills, and we'll be back with the rest of today's Quad A Championship between Mckeesport and North Allegheny as we continue live on Prime Sports KBL from the AJ Palumbo Center.
Championship basketball on Prime Sports KBL being brought to you by Chevrolet, your local Chevy Geo dealers. By Sears Brand Central, the brands you want at the store you trust. And by Cameron Coca-Cola, Coca-Cola Classic, always playing to win, always Coca-Cola. 25-22, low-scoring action here. Mckeesport leading North Allegheny, the NA Temple, but Mckeesport leading. They all have the ball to start the second half.
Yeah, I agree with Coach Furjanik. I think both teams are happy. Coach Julia with the pace of the game, and Mckeesport that they made a little run there at the end of the second quarter.
Board misses on the first three-point attempt of the half, and a reaching foul called on the rebound attempt. I think they got Glenn Allen on that one. Mckeesport has Board, Allen, Short, Menifee, and Sturgess, their starting lineup. North Allegheny, number 32, Dustin West to inbound. 52 is Steve Harris. This is McMurdo. Matt McMurdo at the point. Mancuso, number 10, also in there, and this is Brian Balsack, number 50. Sean Doherty, Dan Donahoe, Art Humphreys, courtside at the AJ Palumbo Center, live on the Prime Sports KBL. How was that, Dan, for a rebound?
Yeah, another nice block, too. Again, they got a good layup, but Mckeesport's challenging most of their layups.
And Short is owning the offensive boards. Foul drawn. Actually, Steve Menifee's going to go to the line. Draws it there. Foul called against Mike Mancuso. North Allegheny, he has 2. Got to make those fouls to keep his lead up there.
They were only 5 for 13. Now they're 5 for 14 at the free throw line.
Steve Menifee with 5 points. Mckeesport leads 26-22. There, maybe a double dribble. That calls from both sides, but no call. North Allegheny plays on. And on. There's a 3.
It's off left.
Taylor.
And he's going to get possession back again. West is going to have to hit a couple of those. He's had some open jumpers. They need him to stick one of those.
Murdo to Mancuso in the corner. There's a turnover as Allen forced it with the aggressive defense.
Coach Julia does not agree with the call.
Either that or he had something bad in the locker room at halftime.
He's always been rather animated. He used to wear tennis shoes all the time. I guess he doesn't do that anymore. Remember his days at Moon, he used to wear tennis shoes all the time.
Board on the baseline. Misses, but Allen loose ball to Brandon Short. I guess maybe not so kind terms, but accurate. He picks up Mckeesport garbage.
Sure,
does it well. 6-point lead for Mckeesport.
Again, the pressure out front is bothering them. They're playing around with the ball too much behind the 5-second line. They need to start attacking the basket.
McMurdo got a maybe away from a little skip there. There's a ball thrown away. Board on the break. Left-hander couldn't get it, but Menifee to follow. And a goaltend. I didn't think I'd see a goaltend from North Allegheny tonight, but Steve Harris was high on the end too.
Well, I don't know how high he was, but he got it on the way up. We'll take a look at it. Here's the missed shot. There you see him going up, and yeah, he did get up pretty good. You're right, Sean. He was up around the rim.
Hey, that's 2 for me.
Game's starting to slip away a little bit from North Allegheny. They're down 8.
John McCarthy into the NA lineup. Olsak for 3.
Well, you know, they're struggling because when they're getting layups off their offense, Mckeesport's blocking everything, and they haven't been hitting their outside shots like they were in the first quarter, so they're in trouble, and he's out of bounds.
Forced out nicely by Steve Harris on the baseline. Landed short, just couldn't get around the corner. Alex steals the inbound pass.
Short chest.
Now foul called on Dustin West down on the floor. So with 5:03 to play here in the third quarter, we're going to take a break here. Mckeesport leading North Allegheny 30-20. It's going Dan Pacella's way.
There are 3.
McMurdo had his hand on B.Boord. 2 quick fouls against North Allegheny here.
That was kind of ticky-tacky, too. There's a lot of squawking about the referee, and both coaches, I don't think, have been too happy. I thought they've done a pretty good job. That one was a little light, but NA grabs and holds a lot, and that's what Coach Pacella's yelling about, and Coach Julia's squawking about that Mckeesport's doing a lot of hand checking.
West has 2, McMurdo has 3 for North Allegheny. Tigers of Mckeesport with the ball.
Nice play.
Bolsack the anticipation, but he couldn't keep it in.
Nice anticipation of the pass coming off the trap.
Matt Taylor back in for North Allegheny, and McMurdo will sit down with his 3 fouls.
And Matt hasn't played a whole lot. He's been recovering, I think, from the flu. He's been sick a little bit. He didn't play a whole lot in the Woodland Hills game.
Right.
Or I'm sorry, in the Butler game.
Yeah, that's it, the overtime game. It's been a rough path to the final. Mckeesport got a little tune-up in the semis, too, as they beat section rival Ringgold by 1. Menifee, pretty move to the hoop there, Dan.
Yeah, and they're in the danger zone now. They're down 10. They haven't scored. There's 4:25 left in this quarter. They haven't scored yet.
Menifee has 9 points. A big 9.
You need this one.
McCarthy hits the first 3 points of the second half for North Allegheny.
As I said, they're not getting anything inside because the height is just killing them, so they better start hitting some outside jumpers.
Back within 7, Mckeesport with the ball. Board in trouble, but he finds a streaking Allen. Takes it right in there in the middle and short from the foul line.
And it was short.
But Menifee there to clean it up. He has 11 points and he's played a big game, Dan.
And ever since about halfway through the second quarter, Mckeesport has just owned the boards. Early in the game, and they did a pretty good job. Harris was getting some rebounds, but they're starting to dominate it.
34-25. North Allegheny trails. 3:20 to play, third quarter. Bolsack outside. Taylor, West. Bolsack forced his way through and he drew the foul. It's going to be called against Menifee.
Nice play by Bolsack. He really didn't have anywhere to go. He just tried to create some contact.
You know, look at this. He goes around short.
Barrels his way through.
Maybe got away with a walk as well.
Not going to call it a shooting foul. I guess the foul was before he threw it up.
Just 2 fouls against Mckeesport in the half. First on Menifee. West. Harris.
Left alone. Someone didn't box out. Shouldn't happen in a man-to-man.
Sturgess for 3.
That's over the back. That's a good box out by Balsack.
2 quick fouls on Menifee.
That time he kept Menifee on his back. Make him go over the top and draw the foul. 2:37 left in the third quarter. Mckeesport up by 7.
Pressing full court.
A little different, little zone trap. NA didn't have any trouble with
Go
it.
1-2-2. They turned this up in the quarterfinals against Central Catholic, which was a close game at the half and really blew them out in the second half.
Short steps in.
Stepped inbounds on the inbound attempt, and so with 2:25 to play in the third quarter, NA gets a little closer, 34-29.
Close call. It looked like he got rid of the ball before his left foot hit.
Real close.
It is close.
Good balance here for North Allegheny. They'll get it inbound here.
They've come back a little bit. They're only down 5. They were down 10 just about a minute or so ago, so they're hanging around.
4 guys with 6 points apiece. Harris, Balsack, McMurdo, and McCarthy. All those guys, the M&M boys. Balsack's been in there for about a month and a half.
Really? Huh? They just don't make that call much anymore. I've seen that throughout the high school in the past couple of years.
No, North Allegheny stays in control, though. It goes out of bounds. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. And he was in there before he caught the ball.
And so was McCarthy, who had started in the zone.
Yeah. Of course, was that real time or slow? It was a nice reach back from Board. He knocked it out of bounds, though. Hard to get away with that without getting called for a foul. Did it nicely there. Ed Odersich in to replace
I think they're calling a technical on Julia here.
Yeah. I guess he thought that should have been a foul.
As I said, I don't think either coach has been happy with the amount of hand checking and grabbing that's gone on, but you know, that's the way they're calling it. There's nothing wrong. I think they've been consistent with it, except for a few calls. They're letting them play, so you might as well just adjust to it and go ahead and keep playing. You know, technical hurts NA right here. It was their ball.
Yep. Sturgess wanted to shoot it at the NA hoop. Get a look there at the National Honor Society at North Allegheny High School. Construction majors, I guess.
Good to see some spirit, but that was a bench technical. I don't know if it was on Coach Joey, but it was a bench technical. Technical. And also, I think the refs are just getting a little bit tired of the squawking that's gone on. Both coaches have approached the refs during timeouts at the end of halftime. I think they've just heard enough. Might be a little sensitive right now.
8 points for Ryan Sturgess in the game. And as Dan said, they take over the ball. This is Jermaine Cromarty. He replaced Glenn Allen. Odersich in there along with Nick Pachowski. Menifee gets a rest. So does who's the other guy we lost? There's B.Boord to the hoop. Sturgess also sat down after making the foul shots.
And technical only cost them 2 points.
Board says he didn't touch him, ref, but he still gets a foul.
And he better be careful too. I mean, they've already shown they're not afraid to slap technical, so there's not a whole lot of point in arguing anything, or you're going to get it also.
It'll be 14 fouls, and the first on Sturgess. Or not Sturgess, B.Boord. Dustin West. Averages 13 points a game. He needs a couple here.
He does need one.
Balsack.
Short.
Thank you. You have a premonition there?
Yeah.
Short. Pachowski handles against McCarthy. Look at
Nice
that
dig.
pass.
Nice little give and go. That's a sign of two guys who've been playing together for a while. You know, this Mckeesport team, these kids have been playing since they were freshmen together. That's just knowing what the other guy's doing. They were
Foul against Steve Harris.
their freshman team at Mckeesport JV team. They were 35-0. These guys have played together for a while.
Harris has 3. Short is really having his problems at the foul line. The whole team is really. Mckeesport 3 for 7 is Short so far. Art must be listening in. He jumped right on that.
Well, it's keeping NA in the game because they should have about a 12-point lead right now.
3 for 8. McMurdo has checked into the North Allegheny lineup, and he'll bring it up court to Harris. Ball sack. Nice look back.
Nice little give and go also.
Pretty play.
40 seconds left on the third quarter clock. Mckeesport by 5.
Boord tries to take it into the lane. West got his hand on it. It's loose. And it's real physical in there. The linebacker dives on the fumble. You might expect him to come out of there with it.
Yeah, that's who I'd bet on.
What'd they call? Held ball. And they'll get it. Pacella didn't seem to mind that call. He was happy just to have a call without Brandon Short getting called for 15 yards.
Again, Mckeesport in a zone press. The last time NA did a pretty good job of beating it and getting the easy jump shot by ball sack. Let's see how they handle it here. They get the ball up, they've got the numbers.
Weston Oders, Pachowski crashed to the floor, but it's going to be NA ball. Pachowski touching it last. And his leg might have been out of bounds when he grabbed hold of it.
What it was. Back to the man-to-man.
15 seconds in the quarter. Seven. Ball sack. Into trouble, and the clock's going to run out. We're down. Harris gets it off.
Had a chance, didn't he?
But that is the end of 3 quarters of play with the number 1 ranked Mckeesport Tigers leading North Allegheny 36-31, looking for that football basketball double in WPIAL Quad A Championships.
This thing's turning into a football.
And they're ahead here as we get into 4th quarter action live at the AJ Palumbo Center on Prime Sports KBL. Sean Doherty, Dan Donahoe, and Art Humphreys here courtside. Mckeesport Tigers with the basketball, leading North Allegheny by 5. Sturgess, 3-pointer no good, but Brandon Short, another rebound.
A nice pass and a good help by Ballsack.
Ed Oders powered it up. No foul called. NA fans trying to get into it and trying to revive their team a bit here. Tremaine Cromartie in.
It's hard for anyone to get in. This is what Coach Joey wanted. This has been an ugly, slow game.
Yeah.
You know, very aggressive, very physical. This isn't a work of art we're seeing here, and this is really NA's only chance. And again, it's in their tempo.
Sturgess down the lane. Doesn't get the roll, but Short. Let's try it from out there. Why not?
Sure. Sooner or later, he's going to drill one.
He averages 17 a game.
Nice move by Harrison. He's going to pick up one. That was good to see. Steve's been passing up what I thought he's had a few layup opportunities. That time he went strong to the glass and converted.
The foul is called on Eric O'Dorsey. B.Boord, that is his first 15-6.
Sturgess and Menifee each with 11 points to lead Mckeesport so far in the game. Through 3 quarters and a little bit of the 4th.
Anderson replaces
Brandon
Short. Not a bad idea. Get him a breather going into the last 5 minutes or so.
Same kind of ball. Dustin West comes out of there though with the rebound. And Anderson says this one's mine. And he'll draw a foul against North Allegheny.
Yeah, they're going to call a held possession as Mckeesport's call.
Okay. Every now and then. That's why we have you. Look at Allen. Showing some of his football speed. Menifee and Short coming right back.
Yeah, they didn't sit down too long.
They got a minute rest. Almost. No, they didn't. Odersich and Anderson will check out. Allen at the line. Shoot 2. Foul called against Balsack. It'll be his 3rd.
I mean, if you're NA, you just want to keep this close. You know, go down to the last couple minutes and put them on the line.
They had made their fouls. This would be a blowout.
I agree with you. That's not even close. One was short, one was long. They're all over the map right now.
McMurdo into the forecourt. North Allegheny only down 6. McCarthy for 3.
Good job of rebounding.
A little guy, 6'1". He looks smaller than that. Just inside there to box out the bigger Mckeesport players, get the rebound and the follow.
That's basically what rebounding is position, not necessarily jumping ability, and that time he had good position.
Dustin West with 5 points. Averages 13 a game. Slapped that one away almost. Harris got that one. Mckeesport basketball as it went over the Mckeesport bench. Mckeesport 8 for 21, Art tells me, foul shooting. Wow. There's 13 points right there. And some of those were front end to 1-on-1. As Cromartie draws one going to the hoop, he'll shoot 2. Foul called against Balsack. That's number 4 on Bryant.
Timeout, North Allegheny.
With 6:07 to play in the game, it's Mckeesport leading North Allegheny 39-35. BIAL Championship action. Mckeesport leading North Allegheny, but North Allegheny no quit. They have the tempo. They're down 4 though, and Mckeesport at the foul line. Jermaine Cromartie gonna shoot 2. And they has them right where they want them, Dan.
Sure, just keep putting them on the line. I mean, if they have an open layup, take the foul and put them on the line.
Coach Jewell said if this game got to 60 points, North Allegheny could not win. Doesn't look like it's going to get there. 39-35, yep.
Mckeesport has 5 team fouls, so NA still 2 away from going to the line.
West and McMurdo dancing around that 3-point line. McCarthy out there as well. He has it now. Harris comes way out.
Nice defense.
Jermaine Cromartie.
Real nice play by Jermaine. He's now aware of what the offense NA is running, and he was just waiting for that. West popped out top of the key, and he was waiting.
41-35, Mckeesport ahead.
Oh, he drilled it.
41-38, just like that. The big fella drills a 3. He has 9. Ryan Balsack. Brandon Short, he has 11.
Kind of reminds me of the Duquesne game last night, Sean. Their most success was just throwing it up and going after it, and that's what they did that time, Short with the tip.
Short, Menifee, and Sturgess each with 11 from Mckeesport. Sturgess the rebound there. And they pick up the tempo a little bit offensively there. A short possession. Sturgess Kind of interesting now with as the clock ticks down here, a little over 4, and I know Coach Pacella doesn't want to stop this, but Menifee gets his 13th and gets him up with 45-38 now. Do they slow it in any, hold it, clock's their ally at some point here.
Yeah, a couple more minutes though. Nice pump fake.
Foul called on Glenn Allen. That's the one thing Mckeesport does not need. They want to keep that clock going. B.Boord checks in for Mckeesport, replaces Ryan Sturgess. Ballsack will go to the line. He'll shoot 2, and that's 16 fouls against Mckeesport. So next one is 1-1.
All the way through. Both teams will go to the line.
Ballsack with 13, right at his average with 4 minutes to play. West, all aggressive there, knocked it out. The defensive tempo picked up here a little by the Tigers of North Allegheny. There's a foul away from the ball in the middle of the floor. McMurdo and Allen.
They all caught him that size. McMurdo doing a little hold there.
That's his 4th.
That's the kind of things that the Mckeesport bench has been yelling about the whole game, the grabbing and the clutching away from the ball.
We've talked about them wanting to get these guys on the line, and Allen has really struggled at the foul line here. But the fouls are adding up. Ballsack has 4, now McMurdo has 4. It's going to soon take a toll.
Yeah, Ballsack is the one guy they can't afford to lose.
Yeah.
He's really kept them in this game in the second half. He's had a nice effort. 8 from 23 from the line.
Menifee short on the follow, and that works as a little turnover there toward NA. And Short's going to get called going over the back of Steve Harris.
Coach Julia will take his chances from the free throw line.
Why not?
NA only 3 for 6. They haven't had a whole lot of opportunities.
Only down 5, 3:57 to play.
It's contagious.
Sturgess with a quick shot. Short's ball doesn't go. Menifee though there, and foul called on McCarthy. Menifee will shoot 1-1.
Mckeesport just dominating the boards.
Yeah. Taking them over in the second half.
Which is really why they're getting to the line so much. I mean, they've been there 23 times. This will be 24. That's excluding a lot of one-on-ones that they didn't even get the opportunity to shoot, and they're not going to get this one either. Usually when you're dominating the boards, you're getting a lot of fouls called.
This could come back to haunt Mckeesport. Could have haunt them tonight as well as down the road. The state playoffs. West just way short on that 3, though.
That shows fatigue.
Yeah. Guys have really played their hearts out.
Both teams, the amount of energy expended in this game has been unbelievable. I mean, they've challenged every pass. They've played hard from the beginning to the end. Really, out of all the games we've done, these two teams, it hasn't been the most artistic, but as far as being aggressive and playing hard, I think this one has been the most.
Kind of the toughest kind of a game to play. 5,000 people in this place. It's about 83 degrees, too,
yeah.
So it makes it even tougher this time of year. Sturgess here. The Tigers holding it a bit here, Dan.
Taking their time a little bit.
foul line, but
back there, right back out.
getting the bounces.
Another offensive rebound.
Need a foul here, I guess.
There's still a lot of time.
5, yeah. Just patience, and pays off there. Dustin West with the steal. Real aggressive defensive night for Dustin West. McMurdo rolls it in. Just like that, we've got a 3-point game.
And again, there's really no need to foul. You had 2:10 on the clock. Plenty of time.
Ball kicked.
The only thing I'd be careful about if I was NA is I wouldn't want to give up a layup. You know, again, if anyone has an open layup, I'd foul.
There's the story, 45-42, 2:03 to play. Reminiscent of that Houston, North Carolina State final. Down the stretch with the Houston Cougars, and the NCAA blew all those foul shots and got beat at the buzzer. Could happen here, who knows? Sturgess will inbound, Mckeesport with the lead and the ball. Sturgess, Boord, short, Allen.
The defense. Oh, nice pass.
Look at that.
That's what I'm talking about. That's where I would have fouled because he had the ball in great scoring position. I'd put him on the line.
And that's not the brightest fouls there for Glenn Allen. They're going to give NA a chance to score here without the clock running.
Sean, one thing I wanted to comment before this game ends is it's so nice to see these Mckeesport kids, the football players, also playing basketball. It seems to be really in vogue the last 10 years or so that high school kids are specializing. They only play football. They don't play both sports. But here you see Mckeesport with at least 3 kids that I know of. I think even 4. I see the quarterbacks on their bench. See them playing both sports and doing well in both sports.
My guess is that Art Anderson probably played a little football too.
Yeah.
But as McMurdo makes the foul shot, you look at it, and there's Brandon Short headed to Penn State. The old story, Joe Paterno recruits by watching guys play basketball. 10 for McMurdo, and Mancuso replaces him for North Allegheny. They're down 5 with 1:55 to play.
No, they're not down 5. They haven't changed the score. There it is, by 4. A little slow on the trigger.
3. 47-44.
Exactly. I put it up on the wrong.
Yeah, I got you.
And they're right back in it with 1:45 in the ball. That's a good timeout.
The timeout called by Dustin West. That's 2 for Mark Julia that he's called this game. He has at least 2. He has 2 left.
I think if you're Mark Julia, and we said before the game, Mark, there's going to be 1:43. It's 47-44, and you got the ball. He said, I'll take that in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
So it's where he wants. Now, whether they can play this hand, who knows? But, I mean, at least it's the hand he wants.
Absolutely.
One of the problems they're having, though, is that West has struggled from the field. He hasn't been able to connect on his jump shot. Ballsack's kind of been a force in the second half. They might go back to him.
If they've been able to make a few shots. Of course, on the other hand, if Mckeesport had made a few foul shots, we wouldn't even be discussing
No,
it.
this game would have been over a long time ago. You know, 8 for 25, 32%. You just make half of those, you're going to be in business. You know, you're up in double figures. You're up by 12 right now, and a lot of those, as we said, those were one-on-ones that they were missing the front ends off of. So that's probably about 30-some opportunities they could have had from the line.
Yeah, we talked about it. It was over a year since the last time these teams met, but same coaches, probably most of the same players, and they came out on top in that one, in the playoffs as well. This is, of course, the WPIAL Quad A Championship. Sean Daugherty, Dan Donahoe, Art Humphreys, courtside at the AJ Palumbo Center, Duquesne University.
You got to be a little bit careful from Mckeesport. You don't want to reach. That time they had to commit the foul because Ballsack again. That's the back screen they've been running all night. Basically, you set the screen away from the ball. Ballsack cut towards it along the baseline. He was wide open. They had the foul there.
So you don't give up the hoop. You don't give up the hoop and let the clock tick. You foul?
No, I don't give up that. I make them earn it.
All right.
I mean, my feeling is anytime this late in the game, if someone has a layup, you make them go to the line.
Pretty close.
It was close.
Glenn Allen gets the foul. That's 4 on Glenn. 1:22 to play.
Ballsack leads with 11. 7 of those coming in the second half.
Mckeesport ranked number 1. It's about midway through the season. North Allegheny just crept into the rankings, the local rankings in recent weeks, showing they deserve to be there, certainly with this effort tonight. Short calls a timeout. Couldn't get it inbounds.
That's why you have Brandon Short taking the ball out. He knows what to do. He saw that nobody was open. Wisely called the timeout.
That's 2 against Coach Dan Pacella from Mckeesport, so he has 2 left. Didn't think that was going to be a factor, but minute 22, we could have 4 or 5 more stops.
There's a long way to go in this game. I think what NA is going to do again is apply full court pressure. Don't pick up the cheap fouls in the backcourt. Play good defense for a while. Make them do something. There you see Coach Pacella. That's probably setting up his press offense, how to break the press. Just play good, solid defense, maybe get a turnover. And if you have to foul, you can pretty much foul anybody. Don't give up the layup. Put the guy on the line. You saw it work for Mckeesport. Ballsack will only convert in 1 of 2. You don't want to give up anything easy right now.
North Allegheny just 6 for 11 from the foul line tonight, so they're not shooting it real well themselves. Not. Just over 50%. Sturgess 4 for 4 from Mckeesport. You take him out of there, Mckeesport is 4 for 21.
Yeah. So that tells you know who you want to have handle the ball right now, and that's Sturgess. And they do a good job of getting the ball to Sturgess, but a nice job of trapping to make him give up the ball. Nice job.
Big steal there by Ballsack.
Went out of bounds. Would have been over and back regardless.
.105. Sturgess in control. The man they want. Mancuso hawks him and slaps him. 56 ticks left on the clock.
It's not who they wanted to foul. And he's the leading scorer. He's 4 for 4, and believe me, the coaching staff of NA is keeping track of that. They know who they want to foul and who they don't. And there's really no need to foul right now. They're only down 2, and there was a minute left on the clock.
Sturgess with 11 points.
Oh, jeez. That should be NA's ball. That's a good call. Short got a hand on it, so they weren't penalized.
McMurdo back in, and Mancuso calls a timeout. That'll reduce Coach Jewell to 1 here with 56 seconds, I believe.
Yeah, I think you're right, Sean.
WPIAL Championship Basketball on Prime Sports KBL. Take a look here. Sean Doherty, Dan Donahoe. Gonna look and see if we can tell, but as Dan called it, they're short, reaching over top of the 2 North Allegheny guys and knocking it out of bounds.
It's a good call. So I said, I think the referees have done a pretty good job. They've let a lot of things go, but I think they've been fairly consistent, and that's really all you're looking for.
That's really deep. We don't get to see that much from this effort. Yeah, we don't get to sit at the end of the court. 47-45, there's the story. If we're right on timeouts, and he's down to 1, Coach Jewell, is that too soon? I guess he figures he can go for the lead or the tie here.
I think that was a real good timeout for 2 reasons. 1, they're getting the ball. You want to set up something on offense. And 2, again, you want to go over your defense. I don't think he was happy with that last foul. They dodged a bullet, but I think it was a good time to bring the team over and say, look, this is who we're going to foul. This is what we're going to do on defense, and set up your offense right here and try and get a good shot.
McMurdo, McCarthy, West, Harris, and Ballsack for North Allegheny. Sturgess, Boord, Allen, Short.
Great
Menifee.
steal.
Sturgess with the play. He missed the 1-on-1, but he made up for it more so.
And it was clean.
Boord gets fouled there as the reach in.
But what a steal by Ryan Sturgess. And it was clean. It was right in front of us. He picked them clean.
That foul against Dustin West of North Allegheny, that's 3 on him. Pretty sure McMurdo has 4. Harris has 4 as well. No, there's a Balsack, I guess.
Balsack does have 4, that's correct.
Yeah. McCarthy has 3. There we go. B.Boord. First time at the foul line tonight, I believe.
You're right.
My memory.
And A has to do a good job of boxing out. 2 wide bodies underneath the hoop for Mckeesport. Balsack does, and he gets the rebound. They're down 3.
3-point game. All they need is a 3 to tie with 35 to play. Probably a little soon to go for that. West, McCarthy.
No
Out of
foul.
control.
I think he lost his footing. They need to foul now, though.
17 seconds. 15.
They need to catch him first, but then they need to foul.
Menifee.
Oh, they get a break. Wow.
Big turnover there for Mckeesport with 11 seconds left, and Coach Pacella wants a timeout. They have a 3-point lead. The Mckeesport Tigers trying for that football-basketball double, the first time in 29 years.
Boy, and again, North Allegheny dodges a bullet. They weren't able to foul. Mckeesport did a good job of getting the ball up the floor.
A look there at Coach Jula.
He fouled you, knocked him
Setting
down.
up the offensive play for North Allegheny.
Here we go, clock out.
See if we can hear.
This possession right here. Give me
Coach Pacella just going over who the 3-point shooters are. Know who you got to look at. You really have to overplay and give up the 2.
Here's the turnover. McMurdo made a nice play, slapped it off him.
Yeah, he did, but Allen kind of made a mistake. I think he was the one who gave it up to Menifee, and that's not, you don't want to give the ball up to your center. Hold on to the ball, but you got to know who can handle it and who can't. You don't want to be giving him the ball 20 feet from the basket.
11 seconds to play. North Allegheny basketball down 3.
Here we go.
48-45. Let's see what happens. West. And that's the end. Mckeesport wins their WPIAL Quad A Championship. To follow up the football one, Coach Dan Pacella's Tigers have beaten North Allegheny, or should I say survived North Allegheny.
Boy, you're not kidding.
48-45.
I'll tell you what, Sean, the interesting thing was they got the rebound, they kicked it back out to West, and he just wasn't ready for it, and he threw it up, and he was about a second late, but he swished it in from 3. Just a 1 or 2 seconds too late. It was clearly after the clock had rang.
Take a look at the last 11 seconds here, or at least part of the last
See
11.
if we can run it all the way through. There you see, he kind of had to shoot it. He was running out of time. Here you see the ball bounce out, and they threw it. McCarthy threw it back. He wasn't ready for it. Watch this, though. This goes right through the chute. I don't know if a lot of people saw that.
Yeah.
And it was after the clock.
Yeah. I know I looked away, but it didn't matter. McKeesport wins 48-45. We'll be back with postgame George Savarese right after this.
Okay, we're here courtside with Mckeesport, the victorious Mckeesport High coach, as he's being congratulated by everybody. Dan Pacella, congratulations, a hard-fought victory. Boy, it must have made your heart take a few extra beats at the end of the game.
Yeah, it was an exciting game. You know, when we had the ball with 11 seconds left, I thought it was over, and instead we turned the ball over and it come down to the wire. It was just an exciting game. We made it more exciting by missing so many free throws, but it was a great game. I thought both teams played great.
Your team shot 32% from the free throw line, and that really made it a close game when it didn't have to be.
Yeah, and we're a 63% foul shooting team, so that's really unlike us to do that.
North Allegheny looked like they were a team that was looking to try and make it a defensive struggle. They didn't want to let it get wide open. They were trying to basically play sound defense. Looked like a pretty tough game with the hand checks and the clutching and grabbing, but you guys were able to actually pull it out.
Yeah, well, I think they hand check constantly. They push and hand check all the time. And I was telling the refs that through the whole game. But see, we can play defense too. So we knew it was going to be low scoring, but we think we're a good defensive team too.
Now you're going on to the States. Did you learn anything from this game about your team? Any lessons you can take with you to the state championships?
Not really. You know, we've played great all year. In fact, again, I don't think this was one of our better games. But, you know, we've played great all year, so, you know, we didn't learn anything new. We know about our kids. Our kids are winners. They'll never back down. They're tough. They're going to hang in there. I'm really proud of them.
At the end of the game, with 11 seconds left, North Allegheny had a chance to tie the game on a three-point play. What did you tell your kids when they called the timeout?
Well, we pressed them to try to eat up the 11 seconds, but we wanted them to inbound the ball, and then we wanted them to take time working the ball up the court, and then all we were doing was defense in the three. You know, we weren't worried about a layup because we were real concerned with layups throughout the game. But at the end, we ignored the layup, and we came out and pressured the three. We were just making sure we got a hand in his face with no foul on the three-point shot.
Coach, congratulations on a great season. You've been ranked #1 by the Post-Gazette most of the way. You end up winning the WPIAL title. A great win also for Mckeesport, winning both the football and the basketball championships, first time in 29 years that a team has done that here in Western Pennsylvania. Congratulations to you. Good luck in the States.
Thank you very much.
Let's bring in some of the players responsible for this win. Ryan Sturgess, you had a heck of a game, but it looked as though you were struggling there at the foul line as well as everybody else. Made it a close game when it might not have had to have been.
Well, I don't know if I struggled. I hit my first four. I just missed the last clutch one, but we definitely struggled. If we'd have lost this game, it'd definitely be on the foul line. I think we're a pretty good foul shooting team, but today they just didn't fall.
When Mckeesport, when you guys turned the ball over late in the game, North Allegheny had a chance to tie it with a three-point shot. What were you looking for them to do? Were you looking for any specific kind of a play to go to a specific player?
Well, they was hitting the three all game, and coach told us to defense the three, go straight up, challenge the shot, and I don't know what happened. I don't know if it the defense or what, but come out top.
Made it pretty exciting at the end. He got the ball with the clock ticking down, and then the horn actually sounded, and he threw another prayer up, and that one actually went in. So,
yeah. I know that. After the buzzer, though, don't count.
Congratulations to you. A heck of a season. 26-1, I believe. Now you end the year. You win the WPIAL title, and you're going on to states. How do you think your chances are for the state title?
Right here, this is just building onto our momentum. We should do real well in the states. I don't know whenever we play, but we definitely will be ready. We'll probably have the next couple days off, get some rest, but we'll definitely be ready.
Ryan Sturgess, congratulations. Thanks very much for joining us, and good luck in the state playoffs. Let's bring in Brandon Short. Brandon, you just keep winning more titles. What's next? A baseball title for you, volleyball, any other titles for you?
The state title in basketball. I mean, ever since Mansion Park up in Altoona, the first thing I said to a reporter when they asked me about what's next, I said section, WPIAL, state, and basketball. So we got them down in order, section and WPIAL, and now it's time to go for the state title.
It looked at times like that was kind of a pile-up in a football game with the clutching and the grabbing and the physical play. Have you played in a more physical game than this one today?
I haven't played in a more physical game than that my whole life, like in Harrison Village or anywhere. It was a dirty team. It was a dirty game, basically.
When you guys were up by sometimes 6 and 7 late in the game, was Coach telling you to just try and get the ball underneath, hold it, and try to kill the clock? Because it looked as though, they were just trying to pressure you for a quick turnover. What were you guys looking to do there?
Well, Coach was really telling us to get in the offense. I mean, like, we would see openings and we would try to take advantage of them, but it would be pushing the ball too much. But slow it up and get in the offense. Coach is screaming at us, get in the offense, get in the offense.
A couple times under the pile, I thought if Jer Paterno was watching this game and some of the Penn State alumni were watching, they'd be a little worried because it looked like guys were really going at it pretty fierce. With this North Allegheny team, did you know going in they were going to try and make it a defensive game, not let it become a wide-open, high-scoring game?
Absolutely. That's North Allegheny style. Slow down the ball, play tough defense, and pressure the ball. That's what they do. We knew that from the beginning what type of game it was going to be.
Great game for you. Culminates a great year for you here in the Western PIAL. Now you're off to the state title. This must be just one glory after another. You must feel great.
I'm living a dream right now. You can't ask for anything more than this. What's going on in my life right now. I mean, it's the best. Whitfield, now hopefully a state title.
Brandon, congratulations to you. Good luck, all the best to you the rest of the way, and good luck at Penn State with the football.
Thanks a lot.
Let's bring in the principal of Mckeesport High School. Here's the Mckeesport High School principal. Bob, tell us a little bit about what this victory in basketball coming after football does for the town of Mckeesport. We usually don't think of what high school athletics can do for a town, but Mckeesport's gone through some tough times, and this must really give the school a nice boost.
It's just given us a great ray of hope. It seemed to carry the town very wonderfully. We're also enthusiastic behind the Tigers, and it's meant an awful lot to the town, as you can see with the number of people that are here tonight. There are a tremendous number of fans that have followed them very faithfully.
What about what this does for the school? This is a rarity. 29 years it's been in Western Pennsylvania before somebody's been able to do this. This must also give your kids a special feeling.
No question about it. It's been a great place to work this year. Our kids have been so very enthusiastic, and they have that never say die attitude that I think is really wonderful to experience.
Mckeesport, like we said, has gone through tough times, and it's a depressed area. It suffered some of the economic revitalization of Pittsburgh on being a manufacturing base, but a lot of people probably are coming up to you these days saying thanks so much.
Exactly that. I think that means that there are an awful lot of good people left in the town of Mckeesport. They're still capable of doing wonderful things.
Coach, principal, thank you so very much. Appreciate it. The Mckeesport Tigers, this culminates almost a dream season for them, winning both the football and basketball championships in the Quad A. The first time in 29 years that a school in Western Pennsylvania has been able to accomplish that feat. We'll be back with more from the AJ Palumbo Center as we cap off the Quad A championship game between Mckeesport and North Allegheny here on KBL.
Sports KBL Championship Basketball brought to you by King's Family Restaurants. Next time, make it King's. By Simonetta's Car Star Auto Body, where everybody goes for quality collision repair. And by Adelphia Cable Communications. Sean Doherty, Dan Donahoe back at courtside with the AJ Palumbo Center. We're going to toss it over to George in just a second. He's going to try to get Mark Jula's view of this ball game.
Let me run down the individual stats, Sean. For the Mckeesport Tiger, the champs, Short finished with 11, Menifee with 15, Sturgess with 11, Allen with 2, B.Boord with 4, Cromartie with 2, Gachowski with 3. For North Allegheny, Harris with 10, Bolsack with 12, West for 5, McMurdo with 10, McCarthy with 6, Mancuso with 2. Let's throw it over to George. I think he has Coach Jula.
We're back here with Coach Dan Jula. Mark Jula, I'm sorry. We have seen a great game, a well-played game on both sides, and what a culmination for a season. I mean, even despite the loss, North Allegheny surprised a lot of people by getting here this year. Your team played great defensive basketball year. Another great defensive effort today. You've got to be proud of your kids.
Our kids just gave it all they had. Mckeesport won. They deserve it. They've had a great year. They're 26-1 or whatever they are. But we got a lot to be proud of at NA. I mean, those kids gave it everything they had. We had our shot at the end. I couldn't ask for any more. I think all the people in Wexford, Marshall Township, Ingomar ought to be as proud of this group as anybody you'll ever see.
Coach Jula, you must have been telling your players that this team was having some foul trouble. They weren't able to make the shot. So don't give up the easy layup. Take the foul, put these guys in the line, make them beat you from there, because they were only shooting 32%.
Well, we talked about that, and then we had a possession there with about a minute and a half to go where we let 21. We wanted to get 21, make them shoot it, and we ended up getting 10, but he ended up missing. But we knew that, and about the last 3 minutes we talked about that, and we wanted to foul Short or the other big guy or 21. And our kids did a nice job. I mean, they got it done, and we put them to the line, and they hit a few and missed a few. But I can't be more pleased with our effort.
With 11 seconds left, the big turnover on the part of Mckeesport gave you the chance to throw up the three-pointer and tie the game. Did you want to get the ball in any particular player's hands? Did you have a set play to go to one guy?
We looked for Dustin, and I thought the play before that when they stripped Matt when we were down 2, if we come down and get a good look at the ball sack, that's where we run to go. Or Dustin for a 3 off of that. But on the last play, we run a play called clock, and it's really McMurdo off a screen, ball sack stepping out and looking for Dustin in the corner, and we end up getting that corner shot. And almost went in, and I'd like to see the tape. I think it was late, but that was a pretty nice ending when that thing went through the net.
This isn't the end of the season for you, though. There's still the state playoffs. What are your guys looking to do? You got a tough road in the state playoffs, but this is a team that shows they can play with anybody.
Well, I think we played the #1 team tonight and took them down to the wire. I mean, it's going to be tough emotionally to get over this. We had a chance to make history, first team at NA to win it, but our kids have been gutting it up all year. I mean, they've been sucking it up all year, and I think we'll play well on Saturday. We just need to rebound from this and come back and keep playing hard, and I have no doubt our kids will do that.
Coach, congratulations on a very gutsy season and on a great season. Congratulations to you at NA, and good luck to you in the state playoffs and for future years. I'm sure this isn't the last time we'll see NA here at the championship game.
Thank you very much, and again, Mckeesport, I think they deserved it, and good luck to them in the playoffs.
Thanks, Coach Jula. That's Coach Mark Jula. He is the head coach of the North Allegheny Tigers. They fell short today against the Mckeesport Tigers. Mckeesport winning the Quad A Championship, but in a hard-fought game and a great game, a very physical contest here at the AJ Palumbo Center. Now let's send it back to Sean Doherty as he we're going to send it back to John Duffy, who's going to basically wrap this up for us and look at what's ahead here on KBL. Duff?
All right, George, thanks a lot. We're here at the end zone as the crowd begins to file out of the A.J. Palumbo Center after watching Mckeesport defeat North Allegheny for the Quad A Championship. Mckeesport becoming the fourth team overall and just the first in the last 29 years to win both the basketball and football WPIAL championships in the same school year. Coming up tonight at 10 o'clock, following the game between Pitt and Seton Hall, we'll have tape coverage of the AA game between Stowe Rocks and Shadyside. It's a matchup of some great AA WPIAL players. For Stowe Rocks, you've got the likes of Pete Sauer and Carl Sipp. And for the folks at Shadyside Academy with Sauer and Sipp. For Stowe Rocks, you've got Monty Latimer and Chris Kirkland. And if you don't want to know what the score is, stick your fingers in your ear and hum the Battle Hymn of the Republic real loud for about 10 seconds. We'll read it to you right now, and then you won't have to have the game ruined for you. So let's go to that right now. The final score of the Stowe Rocks Shadyside game, 64-54. But as I said, it was a heck of a game, and we'll have coverage for that tonight beginning at 10 o'clock on tape here on Prime Sports KBL. And now as we begin to wrap things up here from the A.J. Palumbo Center, we had a great couple of days. We saw some great championship games. And, of course, all 8 of the teams that we saw in the last 2 days, they will both be going on to the PIAA championships with a chance to win the state championship for the WPIAL and Western Pennsylvania. So that's it from the end zone. We had some great guests. Today we had Matt Perjanik of Woodland Hills. A little bit later you'll see Rich Sonson from Carleton High School. We also had Randy Labrie and Mark D'Antinis. But for right now, I'm John Duffy from the end zone. So long, and we'll see you again next time.
Brooklyn.